Hi, I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about Hope's commitment to ministry to students and to teens. And we really passionately believe that every child and every teenager in this area needs to hear about Jesus, needs to come to know Jesus, and then needs to be able to develop Christian friends to support them in that whole relationship. And so we've invested a lot of time and effort and attention into ministry to children and teens because they're so valuable to us and they're valuable to the heart of God. A couple of the exciting things that God is doing here in those realms. One is our preschool ministry, First Step. And we just have a great year right now. We've got near full enrollment, phenomenal teachers and directors, and a lot of those families that come to First Step aren't even part of a church anywhere, and we're beginning to develop relationships with them. And those children are growing, even as 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and 4-year-olds, to learn who Jesus is and what that can mean to their life. And then another really exciting thing that many of you were involved with last year is our Kids Camp, our Vacation Bible School. And Kids Camp is just a phenomenal thing where we had 130 kids here. At least half of those were from outside of our church, and they got to have fun, they got to build friendships with other students, but most importantly, they got to hear the gospel of Christ presented in creative ways, in language they could understand. And about 30 of those students this last summer also accepted Christ and came into a relationship with Him. So Hope has been doing some great things to minister to students, and many of you have been involved with that, and you know what I'm talking about, and you know the joy of seeing a child come to Christ. Hope has also had a long history of excellent youth ministry, and very exciting to see what God's doing in the youth group. I've got a friend here with me today, Tanner Petty. He's one of the students from the high school ministry, and I just want to ask him a little bit about what God's been doing there in the high school ministry, because God's been doing some exciting things.
The coolest thing is this is my 4th year in the youth group, and we've seen a real explosion this year, whereas past years it was kind of the same group of kids. But this year we have a bunch of incoming freshmen, and you really get to see how they evolve from 8th graders to freshmen, how they really get to see the people in this youth group, how legitimate they are, and how awesome God is, whereas before in middle school you don't really get as deep as you do in high school. And probably the coolest thing for me is we have a bunch of cool people in our youth group already, really, really great people, and they're inviting new people every week, and last week we had 30 kids, and it was awesome. And then the 2 weeks before that, we had 10 kids either recommit their life or commit their life to Christ for the first time, and it was probably the best night of my life in a youth group. So we're really taking a step forward, and we're really breaking through barriers and exploding.